Hi everyone, it's Anne from soulconnections.net and also lovereader.net. Now I know it's been a long time since I posted one of these videos, and today I'm going to be talking to you about soulmates, twin flames, and many of you have been writing me so many questions, and I've tried my best to answer them as best as I can, but there's only so much time that I have. So what I did was I packed them all in a Q&A video. This is part 6, by the way. So I'm going to be reading from all the questions that I've gotten. Some of them I may have not got to, but I promise you I will be making more videos in the future. So let me start now. Okay, so the first question is, how do you know if someone is your one and only soulmate? Okay, now this is a very popular question, and I'm asked about this like every day, and I've mentioned it many of times in my previous videos, but I will explain it again so that maybe you can get a refresher course on it, just to like help you guys. So when you first meet someone, you know that there's a divine connection, and you know not exactly, but what type of connection it is, so you're not really supposed to go looking for it. It's like there's something that like triggers off in you. It's like a trigger point that you get like spiritually, and you know right off the bat that there is something very spiritual with this person, that you're never going to be letting go of this person. This person could be your soulmate, this person could be your karmic connection, past lives, or even the twin flame connection. Neither of these, not one of is better than the other, I should say. So the one thing that you want to remember, guys, is that you don't want to go looking for a specific soulmate. Like, I'm going to be going looking for my twin flame. I hear this so much, and I'm like, don't go there, because actually you don't know who you're destined to be with. And that right person that you're supposed to be with, because everybody's different, may complement your soul, that maybe later on in life you'll be meeting that one specific type of soulmate. You know, like they're all bunched into like a group. So the group that I'm looking at is not to like search on what type, but more of like which one that you're drawn towards, because that's actually the spiritual connection. And you know, this is going to cause a lot of confusion for people. So you know, like everyone you meet may not be your soulmate, because we only have a certain number of them. Not everybody is like, oh, I love that person, so I'm a soulmate with that person. Guess what? You're really not. Everybody is spiritually connected in some type of way, but not all are meant to be, you know, in a relationship, or, you know, like you have to remember throughout your lifetime, you're going to be meeting different people. So, you know, maybe somebody that might be sent to you could be like somebody to send you in the right direction, but only you will know that, because you will feel like something trigger off. And another thing, you can never like get over that person, so you know that there is some kind of impact that you had. Okay, so now we're going to go to the second question. What are the signs to look for? Okay, well, you know, like there is like so many signs to look for, and you know what, there's different types of like people get like when they meet their soulmates. So, you know, I can go on and I can make a whole video and list everything that happens, you know, but the most common one that I see all the time for people is the numbers 1111. Now they pop up like periodically. They can pop up like wherever you go. You can look on your phone, you can look on your microwave, you can look at, you know, receipts, license plates, could be just plastered somewhere, and is like, wow, how did that happen? You know, so, you know, you might think you're going crazy, okay, but the thing is that these are signs. These are like signs from the universe that are like letting you know that, you know, like you're getting kind of like a spiritual awakening. So with a spiritual awakening, you should always like write these things down. That's what I like to do. You know, they also come through in a vision. They can come through a like certain parts of like flashes you may get. You know, it's like it's always a good idea to just journal them. That's what I do. I have like tons of books of things that I write down all the time, and you may want to review it later on and say, now I know why, you know, that happened, or you know, someone might ask you, you know, something. So I always say it's a good idea to just, you know, jot it down, and you know, sometimes you'll see like people's names, you know, like plastered everywhere. You might see like something that reminds you of them, a certain place that you two have shared and no one else has shared it, and it's like it's being talked about, you know. So these signs will constantly come out. Also remember, it won't just be 1111. It could also be the 222s and the 333s, and a lot of times the 444s. So, you know, like I said, just write them all down. Okay, so let's go to the third question. Yeah, the third question. Okay, is there a way metaphysically to reunite with your twin flame if they are a runner? If so, how is it possible? You know what? There's really no way of like metaphysically to try to reunite. You know, like when you try to reunite with someone, it sometimes backfires on you, you know, and it's like, you know, with your twin flame outside your body, you may telepathically reunite. You may connect with that person heart to heart in some type of way, and, you know, like some type of meditation or whatever. You may feel them in a dream or whatever. And the thing is that you have to actually be physically in this world to order to reunite, especially if they're running. And this is like a whole different topic altogether. I do have like another video, and also on my blog, both blogs that I have, you can understand a little bit about what the runner phase goes through. But always remember, we are runners all the time. You know, we start off running, and you know, like with me, I'm sure a lot of you saw my video that I was a runner. I had to experience it in order for me to understand it, to help other people. Maybe I didn't go through what the typical running is, because like everybody is different, especially with the masculine and the feminine. So there's like two different types of like running stages that they go through. So actually a runner is running from something deep inside of them, not exactly running from that person. Always remember. So, you know, like there could be like some type of trigger, like I said before, a negative experience. And this is like another topic telling you that it's not easy for the runner. And you have to understand that runners need space, they need time, they need, you know, something to trigger them off on their own, because it's a spiritual awakening. It's not really, you know, hey, knock, 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 you know what, we're twin flames, we need to be together. I mean, you can try that, you might just make the runner run even more. So it's a better idea, don't do it, play it safe, you know. So like I said, check out my other videos for this topic. Okay, so let's go to the fourth question. Okay, if you meet your twin flame in this lifetime, what happens when you die? Do you spend eternity together? Okay, now, the thing is that twin flames are one spirit, and they're split into two. Okay, so from the best of my knowledge, with twin flames, they do go through the afterlife. They do go through more than one lifetime trying to be together into the physical world. Now, sometimes it doesn't always happen that they're like separated in a way where they only return back to come together as one. You know, like this is something that they need to make, like the divine union. And the divine union, the whole point is with twin flames that they need that closeness. They need to help like others. It's like they offer a service to the world. You know, it's like they're giving something as a couple to the environment, to the world, to the universe. Not just they're living as a beautiful, happy, romantic couple, and you know, it's like the ultimate. The thing is that there is a mission with them. This is why, you know, with the mission that they have to get it right. They have to take step by step, you know, like to get it right. Like sometimes that's why they do go through all the negativity, the chaos, the purging, the detox, like whatever the spiritual energy is causing them to do, their life lessons, they have to get through it before they can actually join in and be that couple, that power couple, I should call it. And, you know, it's like, it's the most beautiful, intense feeling that you can feel with someone. And there's just so much that happens, you know, inside of it. It's just that they'll help the world, they'll help heal the world, and it like makes a better place to live in. You know, not that I'm saying that they're going to be environmentalists, but they could. You know, it's just that there's so much more beyond the twin flame connection than just having the divine reunion. There's like so much more that is attached. So, you know what, just go with it. You know, if you're meant to be with your twin flame in this lifetime, you will know it. If not, it'll happen in a next lifetime that you will meet your twin flame. So never go looking, searching and saying, I'm going to meet my twin flame, because I'm asked this like every single day by so many. And, you know, it's hurtful that sometimes you're not able to meet with your twin flame in this lifetime. So it's like a 50-50 ratio here. Okay, so let's go to the fifth question. Okay. How many lifetimes can it take to find your twin? Okay, now finding your twin, it's basically that when you find your twin flame, you know, like there's like some type of energy there that's trying to pass everything. You know, it's like what you're trying to do is you're trying to succeed. You're trying to unfold something. And basically, this is a good question, but it usually takes more than once. And I can't give an exact number since this is like, nobody can see the true meaning of why we continue and to reincarnate and go through lifetime after lifetime. It's never good to investigate everything in your previous lives. It's not that you can't see it, but there's no purpose if it's not something that will help you in this lifetime. So I always say, if there was something there that the angels and the spirit guides want to give you, you're going to find this out. It's going to be revealed to you. So this is like the best way to just accomplish your goals in your life, just reach what you want in your life and not like investigate too much with the previous life. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Okay. Do you come back to Earth together and find each other again? Okay, well, this is the thing. When you meet up with your twin flame, yes and no. Sometimes it doesn't always work out the way we would like it to. Many times there are different cases where twin flames incarnate in this lifetime and then totally different ages. It's like, where is it possible that they can find themselves in a relationship? Honestly. Also there's like some who are not ready to meet their twin flame. Like I mentioned in the previous question, they can skip a lifetime or two. I have seen this. And this is maybe some of you may have read that you don't meet your twin flame. Well, there's yes and no. Some people do and some people don't. But who's to say that you're not going to, since you have like 100 years to live on this earth. So you know what? That's why it's never good to go looking, but it's never good to close the door either. You got what I'm saying? So it's just better to just to not look and just to go with the flow, so to speak. It's like you need to focus on where the universe is guiding you, and that you're being led to someone. Otherwise, you may not realize why you're being led to that person. You just feel it, thinking this person really has no spiritual meaning towards me. Like there's no deep like attraction. But actually they may lead you to the right person. They might lead you to that person that is meant to be. And then you'll say, wow, I almost missed out. I found this person because of this person, or I actually found that this person is the one. So you know what? It's really no telling. It's no telling. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Why is there a 20-year age difference between me and my twin flame, and would we still coming to a union? Okay, the thing is that, having an age difference, very common with twin flames and many soulmates, so I'm not going to say it's just with twin flames. Also, there's culture backgrounds that you have to look at, different types of ways of thinking, and sometimes you have to remember that you're brought into this world to explore, okay, the true meaning of what your mission is in life together. Sometimes it may be harder than other times living, like thousands of miles away from each other than just being right next door. So, from an age difference to culture backgrounds to being with other people, there's an energetic pull that is constantly trying to bring you two together. So, you really have to look at, it's not because why am I doomed with this such age difference? It's not an age difference. It's not anything. It's basically what life lesson you have to learn from it all. And now let's go to the next question. Okay. Can I cut the ties from my twin flame or soulmate? It would be impossible to say, I just don't want to be with my twin flame. There's just too much drama associated with it. But I have to be honest with you, there's really nothing you can actually do to disconnect them from one another. As far as the negativity goes, there's always something that is associated with it that, like twin flames go through this pain, this internal pain, but though it's not that bad, but though it is, in a way, it's just that many people can freak out from when they hear that they are twin flames, and it's because of the chaotic energy that they read about or they hear about, and they feel it. But it's not something to be scared about. And you know, with the process with twin flames, that they're like sometimes in the runner and the chaser phase, you know, like it's not good to just like pay attention to that either, because usually it's the one that wants to disconnect more is like the runner. And since the runner is just running from, like, there's a denial state of mind that they're like afraid to accept, where the chaser is more awakened, and the chaser is understanding things, but the chaser is actually hurting. They're hurting more because they're separation of their other half. And many times we're just going through a place where they just want to totally disconnect and cut the ties, and it won't work. It just won't. I hear this all the time. I've cut the ties from my twin flame. Why didn't it work? Well, first of all, you can't do it, you know, and second of all, it's like, why would you want to even cut like the other half of you? It's like impossible to do that. It's like, that's your other half. So it's like, you try to go on like trying to figure out what you want in your life, but though you know that your other half, that energy force, is just trying to bring you both constantly together. That magnetic pull, sometimes people can take longer. I mean, twins can take longer than other times, but there's always one that will actually like give in, and you know, like that's usually the stronger vessel. Usually that comes into the chaser, but though the runner actually can turn into the chaser and the chaser turn into the runner. I mean, the roles can be reversed. It's like a pattern that they go through. The best thing to do, stop like analyzing it. It'll exhaust you. It's just talking about it, you know, just trying to let you understand that you can't keep doing this to yourself. You know, you have to go on with life, and it'll just hit you. You know, it's better not to look for it. So just take a break. Take like a little break, and you'll feel a lot better. Okay, so let's go to the, I think it's our last question, or maybe one of the last questions. Okay, is it possible for a chaser to permanently chase the runner away? Remember, there's nothing you can do to disconnect the runner, because they're running away on their own. They're not running away from something you said or something that you brought up to their, you know, like to their, you know, they were faced with. This is all something that's more spiritual, and they're feeling it, you know, in their conscience. Their mind cannot, you know, really accept what the spiritual side is bringing into their life. So like I said before, twin flames meet up, and it's the most powerful, intense energy that you're going to feel. You have to understand that they have to stop running, so you can't make them stop running. And I know that sometimes can be years. A lot of people are going through this for years, but they understand it and they cope with it. When you cope with it, you understand that this is part of my life, this is part of my destiny. You know, it's better to understand your twin flame connection versus trying to disconnect or analyze it. You know, it's like you have to work on yourself, just like they need to work on themselves. So it's kind of like they're both going through almost the same type of situation, but a little bit different. You know, and it can go around and round in circles until one finally gets it right and understands that I'm going to, you know, be reunited, but it has to be when that divine timing is. You know, so everyone is different. I can't speak for everyone why they run. Nobody can. It's just that they're running from the most, you know, like intense energy that they've ever been faced with. So it's more internal than external, I should say. Okay, so let's go to the next question. I believe we have, this is one of the last questions. It is the last question. When are unions most likely to happen? There's no really telling when they're going to be reunited. I mean, there's an awakening that happens, yes, and it usually happens to the stronger vessel of the twin flame connection. The awakening most likely happens when something that many call an opening of the soul, and it can be triggered off by a major life experience. Me being the runner, you know, like if you watched my previous video, you know, like I said, you know, knowing that my husband, or back then fiance or twin, whatever, and it was like he's leaving the country, he's going back to his home country in France, and the thought of never seeing him again scared me to death, you know. And I just got to the point of being like, I have to be with this man, and I was awakened. So I knew the truth right there. Now, I'm not going to tell you that everybody is going to go through the exact same moment. Would be great. I hope it does. But this awakening can happen at any given moment. So there's no way to predict the exact timing. So, you know, like that's why time frames are never good, especially with twin flames. So anyways, just try to like focus on your true center. I always tell people focusing on positive energy, that helps draw in the twin flame connection. Also, don't give up on the soulmate connection either. You know, it's like soulmates, it all comes down to one thing, being with that divine, you know, union together as one. You know, that could be even with your compatible soulmate. You know, it's like everybody is different. So I hope this video helped you, and I will be posting more videos on this topic, soulmates and twin flames Q&A. So if you have any questions, just message me or email me. But you know, like I said, I will try my best to get to each and every one of them. I could have hundreds of them. So I will be making more videos very soon. Till then, God bless.